Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Gunpowder and Freedom. So, now that the drywall is up and the first coat of mud and tape has been applied, it is time for the god-awful part, as if this whole drywall process hasn't been bad enough. It's time for probably the worst part, which is sanding. Now, this is a pretty big area, and I'm trying to get it done here, you know, a little bit quicker. So I tried to save myself some money, and I didn't spend $90 on a banjo, which is a tool used for applying the mud and the tape all at once, and it makes it go a lot quicker. But I said, well, I didn't want to buy that because it was $90, and hopefully this is the last time I will ever have to do drywall. But I did cost myself an additional like 4 days of doing the drywall, mud, and tape. So I decided, okay, I'll call around, get some pricing. I found a place just right down here in Zilly that rents a drywall sander and shop vac. So, well, not a shop vac, it's actually like it's a vacuum made for the sander. So hopefully this is gonna help speed this process up, as well as keep my garage, you know, a little bit on the cleaner side. So we are headed down to pick it up now, and once I get it loaded and back to the shop, I will show you guys what it is and how it works. So we'll see you guys there. So here it is. It's pretty self-explanatory. Somebody like myself who has never used one of these, I think I figured it out pretty quickly in about 5 seconds. You have an orbital sander. I have my sanding pads there. I got two 120 grits and 150 grits and two 220 grits. You know, we'll see how the 150s do. If I need to hit these with the 220s to really kind of smooth out some bad spots, I can. So you have your orbital sander, you have your power cord back here, you have your on switch here, you have a variable speed controller right here, your hose for your shop vac, it goes onto the end here. Now this one does have a screw on end, so it's going to create a nice tight seal, hopefully help keep all of that dust going into the sander and not into the air. So I mean, yeah, we're basically just gonna kind of take our time today, try to get this all done. It is a day rental, so I have until this time tomorrow to get this garage sanded down and at the very least touch up some bad spots. I don't think it's gonna be all that much with second coat, probably just some screw holes and maybe some of the spots that, like the corners up here. But either way, I'm done talking. I'm getting the camera set up, and enjoy the time lapse. All right, so it is about 1:40. I want to say I've probably been doing this now for about a half hour or so. There was a slight learning curve right at the beginning. I started with the 150 grit pad, dropped down to the 220 grit pad because right around that light switch, I was taking that sand down just a little too much, exposing a lot of that drywall underneath. So I thought, okay, let me just run a 220 pad until I get the hang of it. Ran the 220 pad down that entire wall, around the corner, and I think it was right around the walk-in doors when I switched back to the 150 grit pad. I mean, holy smokes, I did all of that in, yeah, maybe a half hour or so. Oh, I missed this spot there. No big deal, we'll catch that real quick. But I mean, holy cow, that thing makes a huge difference. And not to mention, there is no dust in here. So not only do I not need to use a respirator and just sweat underneath that and whatever, I don't think I even have to cover my mini split unit. It's not running right now, but I mean, there's no dust in here, so I don't have to worry about any of that getting sucked in. So, whew, this was money well spent. And I don't think I mentioned it, but it cost me about $95 to rent, plus I think it was $8 per pad. So for, I don't know, where we at, $115 or something. This is saving me multiple days of sanding, a lot of wear and tear on my already smoked, ouch, my already smoked shoulder. Ah, that was not staged. That was a real pain. I'm gonna get that looked at. But anyways, yeah, so I just gotta shift this stuff here around and I can get back to it. I don't see why I won't be done with this today. So, heck yeah, money well spent. All right, so I think I have a total of about an hour, maybe a little bit more than an hour wrapped up in sanding all of the walls. And I mean, first round of sanding is done. I do need to go around and touch up some spots. Like right next to the outlets, you can see that's a little choppy, a little bit of variation there. So just little stuff like that. That really it's not going to take me any time at all, and I should be able to make that stuff look really good on the second pass of mudding. So am I going to need to sand it a second time? I'm not sure, more than likely, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But regardless, all of the walls are done. So now I need to do this ceiling, I need to do this ceiling, this wall, and above the mini split there. Now I was kind of saving this stuff back here for whenever I kind of just work my way back. I don't think I'll need a ladder for this stuff. I definitely will need a ladder for this stuff. And then I'll just have to go around and kind of touch up some of the corners there where the sander wasn't able to reach. So without further ado, here is yet another time lapse. Alright, so the big ceiling is done. A couple little minor touch-ups that I need to make, but overall I don't think I'll actually need to sand it again. Thank God, because that sucked. That just destroyed my neck and my shoulders. So I'm hoping that was actually going to be the hardest one. The vaulted ceiling here, I should be able to get with the ladder. So we're just gonna take kind of a minute and recharge my neck, let it rest. We'll shift some things around and then hit this ceiling, that wall, and above the mini split, and we're done sanding for right now. So I just checked the time, it's about 4 o'clock, which means now that everything is sanded, it took me, probably right around 4 hours to do all of the sanding in here for first coat. I mean, I know I kind of slowed down there with the ceiling, but in my defense, I had to stop a few times and take a few breaks. That was just destroying my neck. So, I mean, honestly, if it wasn't for this thing, this probably would have taken me a week to sand by hand. I know it doesn't look like much, but you know, someone like me, I don't do drywall. I feel as though I made that clear. But yeah, so that thing really expedited that. So once again, that was money well spent. I still need to go through and just kind of touch up these corners with my little sanding sponge thing there. If you guys can see that right where the ceiling meets the wall, I need to clean a few of those boogers up. But yeah, just basically go around and touch up the corners where the sander couldn't get the whole way to. But frankly, I mean, I think we're ready to kind of go ahead and start walking around, touching things up. So, I mean, stuff like this, that's gonna fill in real easy. A couple little lines there. You know, I think for the amount of work, time, and money I've put into this garage, you know, I wouldn't mind spending just another day or two to kind of make sure it looks good, so that whenever we go to sell it, it's not gonna be like a headache or anything. So yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. All right, so just went around, touched up all the corners of the walls and the ceilings, and then hit up top here. It's time to let this dust settle a little bit because, yeah, now there is a little bit of dust in the air. Then we can go around and start making our touch-ups with the mud. And if you didn't catch it, I'm not sure if you could see it, but I did cover up the vent on my mini split unit. I don't have it running right now, but I just didn't want to risk it clicking on and then sucking up some of this dust. So that's covered up for right now. Go ahead, give it a little bit of time and start mudding. All right, everybody, there it is. The second coat of mud has been applied. Now, I know I kind of stopped reaching up here. All of this actually looks really good. The light's kind of hitting it just right where you can see that as far as the imperfections go, it's minimal to not existent. So I just kind of went down everything I could reach from the ground, because I'll be honest, I'm sick and tired of being on a ladder right now. Also just trying to keep in my head that this is a garage. It doesn't have to be perfect. And it's drywall. So if I'm doing it, it's not going to be perfect. But, I mean, basically that's it. The sanding, second coat of mud's done. Whenever this dries, probably tomorrow afternoon, helping a friend with a garage floor tomorrow morning. So tomorrow after I get home, I'll go around with my little hand sander, just kind of clean up a couple little areas that I kind of had to say, all right, done messing with that, we'll sand that down. And then I think we might be painting on Sunday. So I'm pretty excited because after I get it painted, now I just need to run a little bit of trim and I'm good to hang my TV. And Super Bowl Sunday is a week from the Sunday that I'll be painting. So I should be good to have some friends over, help me break this thing in properly. Oh, boy, am I glad to be done with that. So, I want to thank you guys for tuning back in to another episode of Gunpowder and Freedom. If you liked what you saw, click the like and subscribe. Don't forget to check out our store on Etsy, and don't forget to jump over and give us a like on Instagram. Thank you very much for the continued support, and I will see you all next time. Have a great day.